Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your podcast host, Hanju Lee, and you are listening to Better Golf Daily, where I introduce one concept, one research-backed idea, and one thing you can take straight to the golf course. Let's go. It's June of 1998, and a 20-year-old rookie named Siri Pak is standing on the 20th hole, the 20th of a playoff at the U.S. Women's Open against an amateur named Jenny, I'm going to butcher this last name, Chosiriporn. After two of them had already played a full extra 18 holes the day before that also ended in a tie. 20 holes of pure grinding pressure. And South Korea back home is in the middle of the worst financial crisis in the country's history. That same year, Siri Pak wins it. Great story on its own, honestly. But here's the part that actually matters for today's episode. Way more than the golf itself. In the years right after that win, a whole wave of young girls across South Korea picked up golf clubs for the first time, especially because they watched her win that tournament on TV. People in golf still call them this. It's a real used term. And they say Siri's kids. By 2021, Korean-born players had combined for 200 LPGA Tour wins. 200, traced back to one win and a bunch of kids somewhere deciding, watching a screen, hey, I could do that too. This is episode 73, part 3 of the Cracking the Talent Code series. Here's a quick recap so far. Episode 71 was about myelin. That's pretty cool. Listen to that. It's an actual wire your body wraps around every skill that you build. Episode 72 was about the sweet spot, the specific zone of struggle where those wraps actually happen. Today we're going to talk about something different, and I think most golf instruction completely ignores it. Not how to practice, why anyone would ever practice enough in the first place to get good. Coyle has a term for it. He calls it ignition. And I love the word because it's exactly right. Deep practice, that struggle, that grooving, none of it happens without fuel. And ignition is the fuel. He actually compares it to a car, which I think is the clearest way to put it. Deep practice is the engine, ignition is the gas tank, and you can have the best engine in the world sitting there doing absolutely nothing without gas in it. And here's the thing about that ignition that I find genuinely fascinating. It's actually not some big rational decision. It's a spark. And it usually comes from what Coyle calls a primal cue. It's some signal, often just a glimpse of somebody else, that quietly tells your brain, people like me can do this. Watch Siri Pak win wasn't a golf lesson for those kids in Korea. It didn't teach them a single swing thought. What it did was flip a switch that made them willing to go hit balls for 4 hours a day for the next 10 years, which, by the way, is the actual thing that makes anybody good at anything. There's a study that backs this up, and I think it's genuinely one of the more underrated stats in the whole book. A researcher named Gary McPherson followed 157 kids learning a musical instrument. And before any of them had really started, he asked each kid one simple question. Basically, how long do you think you'll play this instrument? Some kids say something like, I don't know, a year. Whatever my parents are making me. Other kids say something like closer to forever. This is who I am. I'm a magician. Same instrument, same lessons, same starting point, roughly the same amount of practice time logged by both groups. The kids who saw themselves as magicians long-term progressed something like 400% faster than the kids who saw it as a short-term thing, with identical hours put in. Identical hours. The only difference measured was what the kid believed about their own future. So here's what it means for you. Standing on the range on the random Tuesday with nobody watching and no Ryder Cup on the line. First, go find your own version of Siri Park. That doesn't have to be a tour pro. It can be someone at your own club who started later in life than you'd expect. Somebody who looks like you, plays like you used to, and got genuinely good. Seeing proof that someone like you can do this is not a small thing. It's the exact mechanism that built an entire golf nation. Go find that person, watch them, ask them questions, let them primal Q do his work on you the same way it did on those kids in Korea. Second, and this one's more uncomfortable, actually answer McPherson's question for yourself. Are you someone who plays golf, or are you someone who's becoming a golfer long term as part of who you are? I'm not saying lie to yourself about it if it's genuinely not true for you. And that's fine. Golf can be just fun hobby, and that's completely a legitimate answer. But if you do want to actually get better, and if you keep finding yourself skipping practice or half-assing your reps, some of that might not be discipline problem at all. It might be an identity problem. You're trying to run a deep practice off of an empty tank, and no amount of willpower fully makes up for that long term. Fill the tank first. The engine we already covered in episodes 71 and 72 will actually do something with it once you do. Next episode, which is episode 74, we are getting into what happens when you finally do have the fuel and the mechanism working, and you go looking for somebody to help you get better faster, because it turns out the best coaches in the world don't sound anything like what most of us picture. Yeah, you ready for it? Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Talk to you next time. Until then, go find your spark before you go find your swing. Bye for now.